League Arsenal vs Newcastle United prediction, team news, lineups preview. An Arsenal side reeling from an excruciating injury-time goal host a Newcastle United team who rejoiced in a last-minute intervention in Saturday's Premier League clash at the Emirates. The Gunners fell to a 1-0 loss in the first leg of their last 16 Champions League affair with Porto on Wednesday evening, while Eddie Howe's men left it late to snatch a point in a 2-2 draw with Bournemouth last weekend. Match preview. Record-breaking goal-scoring feats in Premier League away games did not translate into an evening of continental dominance for Arsenal on Wednesday, where a defensively sound Porto unit did not allow the Gunners a single shot on target in their opening Champions League knockout tie, which was destined to end without the net bulging once. However, naivety cost Mikel Arteta's men dear in additional time, as rather than maintaining control of the ball and seeing out a respectable goalless draw, the young guns conceded possession and conceded to Galeno, who beat David Raya, all ends up with a phenomenal curler into the corner. The unusually shot-shy Gunners, who last failed to have a shot on target in a Champions League game in 2011, still have 90 minutes in North London to right their European wrongs, though, and Arteta's men resume Premier League duty on a historic 5-game winning sequence in the top flight. By tearing Burnley to shreds in a 5-0 slaughter last weekend, Arsenal won their opening 5 league fixtures of a calendar year for the first time in their history. But Arteta's troops remain in the bronze medal position in the table, 1 point behind Manchester City and 5 behind Liverpool, who have played an additional game. Now on the hunt for a third straight Premier League home success following triumphs over Crystal Palace and Liverpool, notching 8 goals along the way, Arsenal still boast the division's meanest defense with just 22 goals shipped. But Newcastle and Porto have something in common when it comes to keeping the Gunners out. Keeping their fans thoroughly entertained throughout February so far, Newcastle had already shared the spoils in an 8-goal Luton Town extravaganza and defeated Nottingham Forest in a 3-2 thriller before welcoming Bournemouth to St James Park for another riveting affair last weekend. Twice the Cherries went ahead in the second 45 through Dominic Solanke and Antoine Semenyo, and twice Newcastle hit back through an Anthony Gordon penalty and the unlikeliest of sources in Matt Ritchie, whose injury-time intervention prolonged the Magpies' unbeaten streak. After coming out on the losing side in 7 of their 8 fixtures from December 7 to January 1, Newcastle have now only been beaten in 1 of their last 7 affairs in all tournaments, winning 3 and drawing 2 of their most recent 5 to reignite their European charge. Although the Champions League dream remains a distant dream for now. 8th in the table and with a 7-point gap to make up to 6th-placed Manchester United, usurping Brighton Hove Albion in the Europa Conference League spot is currently Newcastle's best bet for a return to continent. And the Magpies head to North London with multiple goals struck in their last 6 Premier League outings. Eddie Howe's men have also gone without a clean sheet in their last 8 top-flight battles. But they came away from the Emirates with a 0-0 draw last January before November's fiery 1-0 triumph at St James Park, where Gordon's winner survived 3 VAR checks and was labelled a disgrace by an infuriated Arteta. Team news. Arsenal's Portuguese stopover in midweek saw Fabio Vieira make his return to the matchday squad after 3 months out with a groin injury, but Thomas Partey, who also returned to team training following a thigh operation, did not make the cut for the first leg. All of Gabriel Jesus' knee, Takahiro Tomiyasu knock and Alexander Zinchenko calf were absent from the loss to Porto as well, and Arteta remains highly secretive over their respective conditions. But the quick turnaround makes a comeback on Saturday unlikely for any of them. ACL victim Jurrien Timber is still sidelined for the long term for Arsenal and Arteta, who may consider refreshing his midfield with the inclusions of Jorginho and Emile Smith-Rowe if fresh legs are required. In terms of Newcastle's availability, the Magpies were once again without a recognized number 9 against Bournemouth due to an unusual injury for Callum Wilson, who is now confirmed to be spending around 12 weeks on the sidelines with a pectoral problem. However, Alexander Isak groin is closing in on a return and might be able to bolster the visitors' offensive ranks this weekend, while former Arsenal protégé Joe Willock may also make his comeback from a calf problem at his old stomping ground. Fabian Schär has also taken part in training since damaging his wrist against Bournemouth, but Sandro Tonali suspended, Nick Pope shoulder, Matt Targett thigh, Joe Linton thigh and Elliot Anderson back remain out of action. Arsenal possible starting lineup: Raya, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Kiwior, Odegaard, Rice, Jorginho, Saka, Havertz, Martinelli. Newcastle United possible starting lineup: Dubravka, Trippier, Schär, Botman, Byrne, Longstaff, Guimaraes, Miley, Almiron, Gordon, Barnes. We say, Arsenal 2-1 Newcastle United. 3 of Arsenal's last 4 Premier League games versus Newcastle have seen the Gunners fail to breach the Magpies' backline. And jellied legs on the hosts' end will do their prospects of rectifying Wednesday's meek attacking performance no good whatsoever. However, Howe's men are not the same defensive force that they once were. And fueled on by the perceived injustice of their loss to the visitors in November, we have faith in the Gunners to eke out a hard-earned triumph to remain on Liverpool's coattails. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.